Hey everyone, it's J-Funk, and today we're back at it again with another 5-mass full clear, this time of Stormwind from a Windwalker POV. Now, right off the bat here, we're going to go in, we're going to use Gun Shoes, a Legion engineering item, to go really fast. We're going to get the desynchronized thing and go zooming. We're going to pull all these mobs, and I'll make sure I aggro those mobs that guard Illyria's boss room so I can access it easier later on. I see that this guy, that Augustus Moulaine, will be up here in the... has a chance to be up in this building here, and if you kill him, you get a buff for the remainder of the vision. I believe it's a 10% crit buff, but I don't remember exactly. But it's worth killing him. Just get a huge damage, to get a nice damage buff. Additionally, what you may have missed is I moused over the man in the corner that was dead at the start of that vision, because he is the indicator of what the good or bad potion is. The potion that's next to him will be the bad potion. But you'll see here I am running Serenity because of the poop you leave behind you when you move. When you use Whirling Dragon Punch, it will leave a puddle beneath you and you'll make you lose like 9 sanity every time, which is pretty shitty, so I wanted to avoid that. So we got the damage buff. I'm checking for potions in here, checking the mailbox. Search the mailbox while I'm at it. And then I'm going to go see the potion again. I believe that the bad potion here is green. But I don't know if I've moused over in this run. I did many runs on Tuesday, so let's see. No, the bad one is blue. We go and see it. Bad one's blue. So we use our handy dandy weak aura. The bad one's blue. And then it just tells you which one's good. So I know purple is now good for the remainder of this run. Now we've cleared off this area for the most part. We're gonna I take this run pretty slow. Also using the focusing iris essence because I just wanted to have more burst AoE, and I figured with the haste that I'm gonna have in this run, it might be better just to have the focusing iris. Okay, next up, we're gonna go to the Dwarven district right away. The reason why you want to go to the Dwarven district first is because there is a damage buff that is located in the Dwarven district sometimes, and you want to make sure that you have that buff as early as possible so you can get the most benefit from it. So we're gonna go. I missed activating this bomb here. This was not the cleanest run, and I think I just focus on pulling all these mobs. I use Speed Pot with all my cooldowns. As I have Gift of the Titans up, I use Speed Pot to pull all these things, use all my cooldowns, AoE everything down very quickly. Use my iris, do about 400k DPS, clean up this guy. Now, in this house behind me here, there's a chance for the mines to be up, and if you navigate through this maze of mines, at the end of it, you'll get a 10% damage buff, which is pretty worth it. Now, unfortunately, in this run, it is closed, but it would be this building right over here in front of me. The door would be open instead, but in this one, it's not. I also didn't activate the bomb at the start. I probably should have done that before using Speed Pot, but I was on a limited timer because my Gift of the Titans procced, and I needed to take advantage of it while I could. So I'm just gonna kill some mobs here. Activate the bombs while I'm doing so. Checking for potions that I would want during this run, aka I want the purple potions. See if there's any purple potions for free sanity. I could get some buff potions if I want, but I don't really need them too much, but they do help out. I will warn you, though, that the Breathe Fire potion, I found out this week, the Breathe Fire potion can proc your Gift of the Titans randomly, which can be pretty bad for you. So ideally, you don't want that to happen. So you proc Gift here. I had 2 things from Beyonds, kind of rough. Now, ideally, I think if you play this better, you want to pull these mobs into the mobs on my right, and then activate both bombs while you do it, so you can chain these mobs into the boss of this area. But I'm playing this one very safe because this is like one of the last like vials or like vessels that I had left. I had many runs where I just scuffed super hard, and this is the run that I actually had success on by just playing safe. This is what I'd recommend if you're trying to get your first 5-mass full clear done and you're trying to go for speed. I would just play it safe. I don't go for the crystals either. I just try to finish the run for the loot. And then I realized, oh crap, I didn't activate this bomb. That's where I gotta go. Then I activate that thing. Then I go all the way back. I do find out here something interesting. So I put a Transcendence down. I think I'm clever. I put a Transcendence down to skip. I found out that the horrific figments that spawn from the thing do they do pull mobs when they walk through them. So it ended up pulling mobs that I didn't want to pull by accident. I'm gonna use my Serenity here and take out these mobs and this boss. Hopefully ideally not proccing my gift of the Titans, because I don't really need it right here. But I think I end up proccing it. Just it's unfortunate. So it kind of happens. Yeah, proc it on the kill. Ooh, that's not a good one. Pretty big waste. So at this point, I'm just trying to scramble and get out of here and try to take some use of this. So I end up going right here, but then I'm like, oh, never mind. I go left. Because if you go left here, you have to fight these frenzied rats that spawn, kind of like similar to Skullomance. Not Skullomance, Stratholme. The Stratholme dungeon. But it's not a big deal compared to fighting the tentacle and all that. So there's going to be two guys here. They're going to instantly poison you. This poison reduces your haste and movement speed by 70%. Now this poison is annoying because despite it being a poison, you cannot dispel it with detox. I don't know why. I mouse over it. It's a poison. It's categorized as a poison, but you guess it's like a bug or overlooked spell. You can't detox it. So you're gonna see I'm gonna put down a safety transcendence there, because with the split personality madness in this area with this mini boss, it can get pretty messy because you can get that to happen where you'll get a circle around you. You have nowhere to move to get out of the roaring blast, and you're kind of just stuck. So I end up just like having a safety transcendence to like just get out of that situation entirely, to not deal with it. Here I'm just checking for vials, and I try to be clever here, but it doesn't end up working out for me. I try to put a transcendence down here so that I could easily teleport out once I finish, but then don't do this, because this is bad. Because I'm not thinking in the moment that I'm going to outrange it. If you go like, I believe it's like 60 yards from your transcendence, it like despawns it. Otherwise, that strategy would be good if it did work, but no. I make sure to kill that guy before he finishes the Touch of the Abyss cast, so I don't get stunned for 5 seconds. And then I have a Gift of the Titans proc. I'm trying to carry this into as many mobs as possible. I believe I cut through the right here to try to skip mobs, because I don't want to pull as many. And just this poison effect can really screw you in this area, like especially for me. I would always Fist of Fury right as I got that effect, so I'd be fisting super slow. And I was trapped in there. Fortunately, Valera saves our butt with his kidney shot, and we're good to go. So here we're a little bit low on sanity. I use my orb, and I want to pull mobs into the orb in order to take advantage of it. I decided to pull these 3 mobs. As it seems like these are pretty easy to deal with. I don't want to pull these accidentally while I'm fighting this mini boss, and I don't want to deal with this mini boss while I'm fighting these mobs, because it can get really messy. The one benefit that you do have from activating a orb is that it makes you immune to the madnesses of the area temporarily, which means that they won't spawn or anything. That can be pretty nice for like split personality and leaden foot not, slowing you down. This guy, I'm going to try to hold my cooldowns. I ideally don't want to cooldown this guy. He's going to apply Corrupted Blight on me. It's a disease debuff. Now, you can detox that off. You can dispel yourself, so you should be doing that. It's very nice. It does a decent chunk of damage. Like here I got a gift proc. I'm trying to kill these mobs as soon as I can, so that I can carry this gift proc into Shaw, the boss fight of this area. So I'm saving all my cooldowns for this. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit slow, and I get a split personality spawn that kind of makes me wait a little bit, and I don't get any benefit out of the gift proc, but it's not a huge deal. We get a cloak proc on opener. We pop our coolies. All's good. Now, if you TOD Shaw on opener, the TOD will still do damage, even if you can't see him. He's still able to be damaged by TOD and dots, I guess, so it's not a huge deal. Here, I'm trying to have my back to these eyes that are trying to cast on me, and when I'm moving Shaw, I'm just like, and the eyes reposition, I'm trying to move Shaw with me as he's hitting my back, so that I can get him away from these eyes, and I can turn around. It gets a little bit sketchy here. I try to ring these in a desperate hope of like, please get these eyes off of me. I don't want to. I'm very uncomfortable right now. Unfortunately, for me, it does not work out. I end up taking this portal back to the Cathedral district. You don't have to do this. I don't know if this is really faster than just walking out, but I figure I don't want to clear more trash in this area. I'm gonna get out of here as fast as I can. It's also a lost area, so you're losing more sanity by doing so. Here I head right through these tumors. I try not to damage them because I don't want to get in combat with them. And then we enter the Trade District. Now the Trade District, you have a couple objectives in here. You're trying to kill the Inquisitor first, and once you kill the Inquisitor, you have to kill the Slave Master. Once you kill the Slave Master, then you can free all the slaves from their cages in this area. So I killed these two mobs. For some reason, those two mobs will always like reset if you try to pull them with other mobs. You pull them a little bit too far away, they'll just reset. So I try to avoid that and just kill them right there. Again, I'm taking this pretty slow. I could do a lot more bigger pulls. Here I have my cooldown up, so I pop it on the Inquisitor here. Make sure to kill him as fast as possible, because if you don't kill him, he has two casts. He has his Agonizing Torment cast, and additionally, he has a cast that he will cast about after like 20 seconds or so of fighting him, called Convert, like that. And if this debuff gets on you, it's a 30-second debuff that you cannot dispel that converts all healing you take, or prevents all healing you take, I believe. Just entirely. So you can't heal, and healing in visions is pretty important, so you're kind of just waiting for a while before you can kill anything. It can be a little bit scary. Here I'm pulling the trash before this guy, and yeah, this is pretty straightforward. Try to stand next to these burrowing appendages so they don't teleport as much. I do a kind of a poor job of that here, but it's ideal, otherwise you're wasting a lot of time. And the next boss we'll be fighting is the Slave Master. Slave Master Ulrock. Now his big thing is that he's going to cast this Chains ability on you, and all you have to do is just run away. Just run away from him. Now I did notice earlier in the patch, when I would do too much damage to this guy, he would use the chains at like certain percentage HP thresholds. I don't know if they changed that or not. But what was happening earlier in the patch, but it didn't happen this time, is that he would cancel his current chains cast to cast it again. But he didn't do it here, so we ended up having to just wait a little bit and kill him. He's not really that dangerous of a mob. Just make sure that you're not pulling him with too much dangerous stuff, and to avoid getting close to him when he has chains. Because if you get close to him while you have that chains debuff, he will stun you for a long time, and you can get wombo comboed, as I did earlier in the night. Almost. I almost got wombo comboed, where I'd get stunned, dragged into another stun, and it would have been real bad. So here I'm freeing the captives as best I can. Make sure you free all 8 captives. There were times during this stream that this run is from, where I got 7 out of 8 and didn't fully complete the objective without noticing it, which is pretty bad. And here I'm just mousing over the vials again, just seeing if there's any purple ones. We're getting kind of unlucky in this run. There aren't that many purple vials. I'm going to pull these last set of mobs here. Also, you want to check, after killing these mobs, or as you're killing these mobs, you want to be checking the bank, the Stormwind bank, to see if it's open. And if it is, there'll be a patrolling like gold elemental that you can kill in there. Here I get a gift proc right at the end, and because I got this gift proc, the gift of the Titans proc prevents 100% sanity loss, so you can't lose any sanity while it's up. And because of this, I know that if I can't really pull more mobs, I kind of cleared this whole area, and it's pretty unlikely that I'll be able to pull mobs with it. So as a heads up play, I just eat a kebab, which restores my sanity. And because I'm not losing any sanity, it's kind of efficient. It's probably the most efficient use of my time there. Here I see the bank is up. I go and kill him, get my my debuff, my buff for the rest of the vision. And here I noticed that the mailbox that I opened didn't aggro to me for some reason. I don't know why. I don't quite kill this guy, but I just lightning him, get a proc, easy peasy. And then we get our buff, kill this guy here, open a chest. You know, we have plenty of time here. We're moving into our last area, which is the Mage Quarter, Mage District. We get our vial, get some healing vial, try to juke this guy out, because I remember, oh yeah, there's more vials over here. And we're going to mount up. So you're going to see, one thing you notice on my Opie add-on, my mount add-on, my little radio wheel there, I didn't have my squeakers mount. So I have squeakers. I use squeakers all the time, right? For some reason, in an earlier run in the stream, I disconnected while I was rolling, and when I reconnected, I didn't have the squeakers mount anymore. It just didn't exist. I couldn't fix it until I restarted my game. It was super weird. I'm not sure why that was happening, but it did. It did happen. This one I want to mention. It was super weird. I would be careful with rolling in visions because it can disconnect you randomly, and I'm not really sure why, because it almost never happens to me anywhere else. It's just in visions. I don't know what's going on there, but here we're just gonna clear out the Mage district, or the Mage quarter. You're gonna go right. You don't want to go right there. You want to go up around, wait for Leadenfoot to fall off. This area can be kind of tough and really annoying, especially this week with Leadenfoot and Swift's personality. It's a very annoying zone. The combination of these madnesses plus this area can be, yeah, because all these crawling corruptions are just patrolling around and they're keeping you in combat, which is keeping your Leadenfoot uptime being pretty high, because Leadenfoot only happens if you're in combat, so usually it doesn't matter too much, but in this zone it's quite annoying. So we killed that first portal master. Now we're gonna go to the middle. I accidentally run into the classic run into my split personality circle as I'm going along. I have TOD here, and I'm gonna try to kill this guy. This is a little bit greedy. I probably should have used an ore, but if I do successfully kill this guy, I'll be able to get 200 sanity back. Because I am a little bit low on sanity, so this is a little bit greedy, but I think I do manage to kill him. Now, I almost take a circle there. One thing is, Monk, you can do is you can Tiger's Lust off the debuff of Leadenfoot. So I do successfully kill him without using Cheat Death, which is super good. And I get a gift proc off it. Because I get a gift proc off it, I pull directly into these two mobs here. Now you want to be interrupting the Void Buffet, or whatever it's called, because that will apply a debuff to you that makes you take 100% additional shadow damage. And a lot of things in this area are shadow damage. Additionally, the Portal Keepers themselves will have a Shadow Crash ability that will do a lot of damage to you, like a lot of damage, and also do sanity damage. Here I see a purple vial, I pick it up, and then I have to wait because of my circle. Then I'm going to pull the next set of Portal Keeper over there while I wait. And then these two guys are kind of dangerous, so these two Mind Flame mobs, because they can both cast Psychic Scream, so ideally you want to focus one of them down first. Or use an AoE interrupt. I screw up here. I screw up really bad here. I try to use Ring of Peace. Unfortunately, my Ring of Peace splits the mobs, so at that point, I cannot leg sweep both of them anymore. And I get feared and I get disoriented. Not the cleanest run so far, but in the future, focus one of those things down, and then like stun or CC the other one, prevent the fear from happening, because it can be pretty nasty, as you saw. I can line up with the circle, if it'll fear you into your disorient, and then it's pretty rough. Same thing here. Interrupt the Void Buffet if you can. I try to save it just because I'm not really sure if I'll get the interrupt. I'm not sure if I'll kill the mob in time before it casts Psychic Scream, so I'm trying to play it safe. But interrupting here. As a Windwalker Monk, also, you can use Diffuse Magic, because that Void Buffet debuff is a magic effect, so you can dispel yourself. This guy, so you don't want to interrupt the first Shadow Bolt with this guy. You want to interrupt like the Shadow Bolt that he casts after Rain of Fire. Unfortunately, I am just exceptionally strong. I do 233k burst single target damage. That's just the power of Serenity, man, with a lot of haste. And we kill him. He just melts. So we don't have to deal with that mechanic at all. I still do have TOD and Iris. And now we're moving on to the final boss of this area. The notorious and much hated Magister Umbric. This guy can be a huge pain in the butt as a melee DPS. Now there are some tricks to this guy that I don't utilize here. But you can put an auto hammer or any kind of pet next to Magister Umbric, and it will cancel his frost intermission phase. This guy can be a real run killer, so I would recommend if you're having trouble with this guy to use an orb on him. It does kind of stink, but he does a lot of sanity damage. Like the missiles there does like a lot of sanity. I think it's like 75 sanity per thing. I do get sheeped, which is not ideal. But I do phase him right afterwards. And then, unfortunately, I roll into my thing. It happens, man. I still have my Cheat Death here, I believe. I haven't used it yet in this run, so I'm not too worried about it. Here, I try to cheese this by putting a Jeeves down next to him to see if I could get the what I was mentioning earlier with the pets being next to him. But he teleports over there instead. It doesn't teleport again. Now, I'm just taking split personality to the face at this point, like a bunch of times. I'm just brute forcing this guy. I have to wait for my Leadenfoot to fall off, and then I'm like, screw that. And then I'm like, fight through the pain. Serenity's up. I just DPS him down, brute force him, overgear him. Would recommend waiting though. I played pretty recklessly and aggressively there in order to kill him. I would recommend playing much safer. It is pretty weird that I played so recklessly there when I played so safe for the rest of the run. But that's pretty much it for the zones. Now we're on to the last boss, which is Illyria. She's gonna have all 4 abilities. She's gonna have chains. She's gonna have an eye with her, and then she's gonna have she's gonna spawn bombs. And her base abilities are she's gonna cast like this dark volley thing we move out of, and then she's gonna cast she's gonna teleport to the middle of the room and cast this long cast that you want to LOS behind one of these pillars. Additionally, she's gonna cast polymorph, which is just an interrupt. It's pretty easy. So I'm gonna use my orb here. I'm gonna pull her into the orb. Ideally, I taunt her on pull so that she gets a little bit closer to me and runs faster. Here's Darkened Sky. This is the like rain thing you want to move away from. You can click on those bombs to kick them away, but I see that they're in a pretty good spot stacked up in the corner, so I don't really do that. Now, one thing that you can do, so she's going to cast Void Eruption here, which is the thing you want to LOS. One thing that you can do is you can pull, since Gift of the Titans only procs usually off of kills, you can like pull one of the mobs that you left in this area alive, and then kill it during the Illyria in order to proc it. I don't do this here because it's something that I figured out later, but you can do that if you want. Okay, here, Chains of Servitude, pretty annoying. We have an eye behind us too. So I'm trying to run away from her while also not facing the eye. Kind of screw up there. Void Eruption again. Moving away. And this is pretty much it, man. We're in the final stretch. Make sure to not turn towards the eye. Try to bait Darkened Sky over here, and then turn her around. Interrupt Tainted Polymorph so you don't get CC'd. And then here's the bombs. And then unfortunately my thing from beyond spawns on top of me. Not ideal. This gets a little bit scary towards the end because I can't really DPS her without facing the eye, and then she casts the Void Eruption again. I'm like, ugh. I play it safe, as LOS, wait for her to do her thing, and then we Iris for the finish. Big beam. We did it. And then we proc our Gift to the Titans after killing her. So pulling a mob into her might actually be pretty good to proc Gift to the Titans to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, that's the 5-mass full clear for Stormwind. I played pretty poorly and aggressively at times, and played pretty safe. Not the cleanest one ever, but still, it gets the job done. Now, unfortunately, our loot this time isn't as good as it used to be, but that'll pretty much do it for this video, guys. Make sure leave a comment if you have any questions. Make sure to like the video, and if you're not already, please subscribe. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.